MSNBC doesn't want to offend Trump, so they pulled a documentary because they don't want Trump to get mad. Because they're hoping that Trump will potentially do some work with them in the future. You know, this is the way you run a network. Put it up full mass. MSNBC, you about to get some today. A documentary about the Trump administration's family separation policy will not air before Election Day. Why? Because MSNBC is concerned about offending the Republican presidential nominee, according to new reports. So let's go to it. Journalist Oliver Darcy on the left, a former critic of CNN, revealed Tuesday that Errol Morris Center documentary based on Jacob Soboroff's 2020 book, Separated: Inside an American Tragedy, is being held by NBC bosses until December 7th. So NBC, they're the big dogs. They pulled it, a move that apparently annoyed the director. Quote, "Why is my movie not being shown on NBC prior to the election?" Question. Morris wrote on X. It's about a policy that was discussed, disgusting and should not be allowed to happen again. Make your own inferences, end quote. So Darcy reported MSNBC bigwigs were eager to throw their support behind the work and promote the documentary, which he argued could be Oscar worthy, and I'm sure it is. Quote, not only does NBC Universal, have a potential Oscars contender on his hand with the child separation documentary, he wrote, but Rachel Maddow has offered to do an hour-long special hyping the film ahead of its network debut, I'm told. And yet, company brass declined to air it until the November election. The reason, according to Darcy, also reported NBC bosses, they don't want to offend Donald Trump, according to the rap. They don't want to offend Donald Trump. Wow. Donald Trump don't give a damn about offending you. Why would you do journalism this way? Do you stand behind the documentary? Obviously you do. That's why you're going to air it in the first place. You don't want to impact an American election. No. That's not the reason, because you talk about politics every day. You're good with impacting an American election. You don't want to offend Donald Trump. There's more. Put him up. On Monday's edition of his status newsletter, he reported that Rebecca Blumenstein, on the left, president of editorials for NBC News, opposed airing Separated. That is the documentary. Before the election, because the network still hopes Trump will agree to another presidential debate. Please, Donald, we're fiending for views like crack. The outlet reported NBC Universal Vice President of Communications, Stephen Levitan, on the right, reportedly denied that fellow executives wanted to lure Trump onto the debate stage. Air the damn documentary. Go ahead and let it move forward as scheduled. Rachel Maddow, send us a code or something. Let us know what's up. All right, because right now, I damn sure believe that NBC top brass made a decision that once again puts MSNBC in the middle of their corporate entanglements, which once again takes away from the transparency of the moment. This is not about offending, should not be about offending one human being. I don't give a damn if his name is Donald Trump or not. If you stand behind the documentary, air it. Obviously, this is not an issue of getting involved or having an impact on the American election. This is part of the job. Call it as you see it. If you stand behind the documentary, you know it to be factual, air it, regardless of the political outcome of one human being. All right, Jackson, hell of a thing. Thoughts here?
Yeah, I mean, to me, I think this is kind of silly, especially because MSNBC generally is pretty anti-Trump anyway. I mean, if you look at the majority of their programming that they
Right.
have, whether it's Rachel Maddow, Lawrence O'Donnell, Chris Hayes, any of those people that they have on there, Jason, Simone, all of them, Joy Reid, they pretty much and generally MSNBC for a mainstream media outlet, they're not bad. They really aren't. So when they do stuff like this, it's just silly. They also, I remember the day after the first assassination attempt against Trump when he was in Pennsylvania, they didn't let Mika and Joe do their show like the next day. And then Mika and Joe came back, and Joe was like, okay, if this happens again, then we'll be gone. So
Yeah.
they've done this twice in this election cycle, which again to me it just seems silly because it's kind of antithetical to their programming in general. So I think it's I mean, I don't really have anything else to say other than that. You nailed it with everything else. But to me, the biggest thing that stuck out is it's like this is kind of in line with your general programming anyway. So
Yeah.
why is this an exception?
And if you happen to be pro truth, you will also happen to be anti Trump. That's the way it works now.